It was Labor's big sell, the promise to make childcare more affordable and get women back into the workforce.
Our plan will end the economic distortion that stops particularly mums working more than 3 or 4 days a week.
$5.4 billion will go to increasing childcare subsidies from July next year. But it could be a case of putting the cart before the horse.
The workforce crisis in education and care at the moment is something we haven't seen before. We have a real lack of educators, people who aren't normally working directly with children having to work with children.
In the past year, there's been a 40% increase in ads for early childhood teaching jobs. There's also been a 34% rise in adverts for jobs outside normal school hours. But each time major lockdowns have struck, carers have quit the industry. Research showing the sector is short by more than 5,000 workers nationally.
During the pandemic, we saw an exodus, particularly of our casual staff, which means now we don't have enough staff to backfill.
The ripple effect? Babysitting and nannying services are now also overstretched, with prices skyrocketing to between $25 and $40 an hour in some parts of the country.
For some families, they're having to make a decision between how many days they can work and the cost of early childhood education and care.
Industry figures say the only real solution is to lift wages. Right now, the average wage for a childcare worker with a Cert 3 qualification is $25.26 an hour. But in 2018, the Fair Work Commission actually quashed a union push to increase pay by 30%.
High quality education and care is associated with a vast range of positive outcomes for children, families and the community more broadly.
So, while the government's trying to help parents out with extra money, is it all for nothing if there's not enough staff to look after their kids?
It's a bit scary that it's only the beginning of winter and this situation is already in place.
So when I first got pregnant, a friend of mine said to me, you're now pregnant, you've got to enrol your kid in childcare because the situation can be so dire and the wait lines can be so long depending on which childcare you want to enrol them in. And I thought, no, you've got to be joking. And then more and more people started telling me the exact same thing. So I found a childcare place near my house and there was a form that I had to fill out and they ask you all these questions like sex, name, and I was like, it's a fetus.
So have you done it?
So I had to put fetus Fran. And then I got a confirmation back saying fetus Fran has now been enrolled at the early childcare learning.
We're going to start a trend to be #1 next year.